I've always felt that grief and guilt are two very, very powerful emotions, and guilt is often because of somebody else involved in our life. Now, who is to decide what we did or what they did is right or wrong, right? And that's pretty much what this entire movie is about. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, then hi, this is The Storyteller. Here we review stories in the form of doodling, and if that's something that excites you, then do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also drop down your suggestions of movies you'd like me to review, and you'll get to see them really soon. So the movie for today is Kaanekkaane, which is directed by Manu Ashokan and written by Bobby and Sanjay, with a beautiful cast of Suraj Venjaramoodu, Tovino Thomas and Aishwarya Lekshmi in the main roles. Let's start with the writing of this movie, which is done by Bobby and Sanjay, which is also the major plus point of this movie. The writing is very strong in terms of the characterizations, their past, and of course the main story and the plot of this movie, which happens to be the story of an old man, Paul, played by Suraj Venjaramoodu, who visits the house of Alan, played by Tovino, who lives with his wife Sneha, played by Aishwarya, and his son Kuttu, and the set of things that happen after that. I know, you're thinking, seriously, is that the storyline you're going to give us? But that's all I can give, because anything more would be a spoiler, and trust me, you have to watch it. But what I can tell you are the themes of the movie. So this movie talks a lot about tragedy, grief, and loss, and also the fear of losing after you've lost once. But if you think that this movie is about a tragedy and the set of things that happen immediately after that, then it's a big no. This is a slow burn emotional thriller. You know, the beauty of this movie is that it constantly makes you question who is the villain and who is the hero of this movie, and who's right and who's wrong. It keeps making you think. And I think that's really beautiful. Like, see, in the first half an hour of the movie, you will have a bunch of questions coming into your head. And I think that's the beauty of this writing. But slowly, as you give it time, everything makes sense. So definitely, writing is a major plus of this movie. And while we're talking about writing, we have to talk about the characterizations of this movie. Of course, there are three main characters. Papa, played by Suraj, Alan, played by Tovino, and of course Sneha, played by Aishwarya. The writing is beautiful, especially when you see the relations between each one of them. It's always complicated. There are a lot of flashbacks in this movie, which I'll talk about more soon. But each character has their own past and their own reasons to be the version that they are. Those reasons affect them and each other. And through these flashbacks, we get to see why they are who they are. Talking about writing, another great thing that I wanted to talk about was the writing of the small kid Kuttu. You see, it's not the stereotypical kid you see in movies. This kid, like the kids of the recent generation, has his own point of views. And even the character of this kid has depth. So, should I even talk about the depth that the other characters have? When I talk about acting, all of them have given an amazing performance. But of course, for me, Suraj Venjaramoodu stood out completely from this movie. If you're a Tovino fan like me, you will get to see that upward graph in his acting in this movie. Aishwarya has always been a great performer, but there's this one scene at the end that you'll truly love. Not to mention the beautiful combination between Tovino and Suraj Venjaramoodu. Oh my god, it's just too good. You see, both of them have pain in their characters, but both of them showcase that pain so differently from each other. And I think that's the beauty and quality of great actors who can adapt into characters and show their version of pain. You know, the reason why Suraj stands out is because in his movements, his purpose, his energy, all shows that he has gone through a loss. It's there on his face throughout the movie. And for Tovino, shows how complicated and confused Alan is after loss. And there's this one scene at the end where he cries in the car. Beautiful. And you can see this combo's acting, especially when you compare the past and present, to see how they change their acting for the two different timelines. Now, this movie is a true success because of its amazing direction by Manu Ashokan, because he tries to bring out the best from his characters, and at the same time because he presents the story in a beautifully different way. He uses the element of flashbacks, something that I've been talking a lot about in this video, where these flashbacks are not scenes that shows or tells us directly why they are who they are. I mean, it's not heavy scenes, no depth, no drama. These flashbacks are just simple conversations these characters have with each other in the past. Simple conversations, and through these conversations you understand the relations with each other, their equations, and also it subtly tells us why they are who they are today. If you're a constant viewer, you would know the issue that I've had in my last couple of reviews with the way flashbacks are shown. Trust me, this movie did not have draggy flashbacks. This is how flashbacks should be, and it's such a beautiful element in this movie. And the reason it's so beautiful is because of the amazing cinematography and the perfect editing. These scenes are cut to perfection, and nowhere do you feel like there's a lag. the cut is the reason for the major change in emotions that we also have in the movie. Not to mention the beautiful visuals on the screen, especially the close-up shots of these actors, beautiful. And something that adds on to the thrill of this entire movie is the BGM. It's hauntingly beautiful. Trust me, all of this together is the perfect package that you'd want in any movie. Now, coming to what I absolutely loved in this movie, starting off, hands down, it is the non-linear storytelling where they keep mixing the past and the present, and you also see the change in those characters, which is beautiful. Something else that I absolutely loved is the middle portion of this movie. Usually the middle parts of every movie get lagging, get boring, but this is the one segment where I was literally at the edge of my seat wanting to know what happened. The next is no doubt is Suraj Venjaramoodu, his character, him, everything. I also love how his character comes to a full circle at the end where his choices define who he is at the end of it. It's just a beautiful watch, guys. And how can I not mention this? The climax. The climax is absolutely beautiful. I mean, in between, I did think like, okay, we know what's happening now. How are they going to end this movie? Which I think they did a beautiful job at it. Definitely a big yes to this movie. And is there even a doubt, guys? I'm going to give this movie all my stars. I mean, this is truly a beautiful movie. I don't know how else to express it, but just definitely recommending it to you guys, and definitely a must watch from my end. If you guys like this video, do click the subscribe button and let me know. If you have suggestions for any such movies, don't hesitate to comment below. So with that, I'm going to wrap up with this review today. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you soon with lots of love. It's your storyteller. Bye.